Hello and welcome. This is Jennifer McGuire. Today's video shows how to take a plain die cut and add some fun to it with lots of colorful glitter. I'm also going to show another new technique where I add like a halo of glitter around a focal point. It's kind of hard to explain and hard to see in the photo, but you'll see as we get going here. Nice thing about today's techniques is that you can use it pretty much with any dies you may have. So let's start with that glitter happy die cut. I have some white cardstock and I'm going to cover an area of it that's slightly bigger than our die with double-sided tape. Now this is a super strong double-sided tape. This is Be Creative tape. It's also known as score tape. There's a bunch of different names for it. You just want a very, very strong double-sided tape here because we're going to add glitter to it and we want to make sure that glitter does not come off. Okay, so you can see that the area that I've covered with the tape is a little bit bigger than our die. So I'm going to really rub that into place and then trim it down. And we're going to run this through our die cut machine. The die that I'm using today is new from Winnie and Walter. I just love it. I think it's great for a lot of occasions. I'm going to put it down onto the double-sided tape side of our cardstock that's covered here and run it through our die cut machine. My die cut machine cut through this no problem. If you need to, you could put a shim under there to make sure it cuts through both layers. I'm actually leaving the die cut in its negative space for now. It just helps and makes this easier. Now I have lots of super fine glitter here. This is from Elizabeth Craft Designs. There's lots of fine glitters out there. I like these because when you rub them really firmly onto the double-sided tape, they become like velvet and the glitter doesn't come off. So I have a variety of colors here. Now I'm going to take the release paper off the word happy. I'm leaving the release paper on the negative space here. Now, if you don't have a bunch of colors of glitter, you could take your white cardstock at the beginning, color like a rainbow on the paper, then put the double-sided tape on it, and then use a clear glitter on top of that. But I have these beautiful colors that I really wanted to use today. Okay, so I have my glitter here. I have a little spoon. This is just a inexpensive, tiny little spoon. You could use a straw to do this too, like cut the end of a straw to an angle and use that to scoop if you want to. Now I'm just going through and I'm putting a little bit of glitter kind of in a rainbow across this. Now you'll notice this glitter doesn't look that pretty when it first goes on. It will look pretty when we rub it into place. When we burnish it, that's when the color pops out. Now, when I add the glitter on top of here, I am making sure that I overlap one color with the last. This will help get like a blended look when we're all finished. Now, you'll notice that static is keeping some of this glitter on the release paper that's around the word. That's okay. We'll take care of that in a moment too. You'll also notice that a little bit of my glitter is falling onto my work surface. I'm just using such a small amount that if that tiny little bit goes to waste, it's okay. But if you wanted to, you could do this over a piece of typing paper or a coffee filter and funnel the extra glitter back in. But again, this is just such a small amount, I wasn't worried about it. So I'm going through and adding all the different colors here. Now my die cut looks like a hot mess here. It's not very impressive, but I promise it'll look better in a moment here. Now, again, you want to make sure you overlap those colors lots. That will give you that blended look. Okay, so now that I have all my colors on that piece, I have a piece of Swiffer cloth. This is just a dusting cloth. They're disposable. I cut small pieces from it, and this is the ticket to making glitter not a pain in the butt to work with. If you have this dusting cloth, it really grabs up and cleans up all the glitter very easily. I can't recommend those Swiffer cloths enough. Okay, so now I'm going in and I'm really burnishing all these colors into that double-sided tape, all these glitters. This is what gives it the bright color and really makes sure that that glitter won't rub off later. This also blends the different colors of glitter together, so you get kind of a nice blended look across the die cut. Now you'll see why I kept this in its negative space, because if I went to burnish that delicate die cut, it would have kind of gotten messed up along the way. The negative space just protects it. And you see that I cleaned up that die cut very easily using one of those Swiffer dusting cloths, so it cleans up the mess. So now I'm just really pressing that in there, and I love the silky smooth look you get when you really burnish that glitter into the double-sided tape. So there we have our die cut. We can take it out of the negative space now that we've got it all pressed on there really well, and check out that nice blending that you get. I just think it's beautiful. I wish I could catch in the video the nice shine that you get with these glitters. And again, there are many great glitters out there that would work for this. I know Ranger has some glitters and also Glitter Ritz. Next, let's go ahead and create that die cut white rectangle that you see in the background. I actually did a little trick with this that I wanted to share with you. I'm using a new die set from Winnie and Walter. There's lots of great dies, really practical dies in this set. The one I'm using it kind of pierces tiny little dots around the inside edge of the rectangle. So I'm just going to die cut this from regular white cardstock. This is Nina white cardstock. Run it through my die cut machine. However, this rectangle seemed too tall for my die cut. I wanted it to be a shorter die, or a die cut. So let me show you how I did this. This is just a nice trick that you can do with rectangle dies. I'm actually going to put my die cut back into the rectangle die, but offset a little bit. And the nice thing is I can easily pop that die cut right into the dots on the die. And then I'm going to run it back through so it's offset. So it's going to cut off a little bit off the bottom, and check that out. Nobody would ever know that I altered that. It's a great trick to just kind of put that die cut back into the die but offset and run it through again. And now it seems to be better proportioned for our die cut. The next technique I wanted to show you is how to create a glitter halo around a focal die cut. It's hard to see in the picture, but let me show you here. I have that happy die that we used to cut the glitter die cut that we have up there. I'm going to put some tape on the back of it to cover all the holes in the die, because we're actually going to ink over the die itself. It's hard to explain, but let me just show you. Now you could leave these holes open, but for some reason I decided I wanted to make sure that none of the ink got into those little open areas. Now I am actually going to ink over the die. So this die, the outside edge of this die, is slightly bigger than our glitter die cut up there because there's that extra metal around the edge. So I'm going to take this and lay it onto our white rectangle, and I'm going to tape it in place because I don't want it to move. I'm using some micropore tape here, but you could use painter's tape or washi tape. Now I have a little sponge dauber here, and I'm using Versamark ink. It's just a clear sticky ink. So you will not see this as it goes down, but we're going to put embossing powder on it in a moment. So I'm inking up the sponge dauber, starting on the die and pulling it away from the die. So I end up with a little bit of ink right around the outside edges of our die. So what happens is the ink will just be in the areas around our die cut. And there'll be a little gap too. So what we'll end up with is kind of a halo of ink around our die cut. So I'm going to work my way around the whole die. In a moment here, I'll remove the tape so that I can ink in those areas also. I'm using clear ink because I want to use a clear glitter embossing powder over this. However, you could use like maybe an ink blending tool with maybe a soft blue distress ink and have like a blue halo around your die cut. There's a lot that you can do with this by using the die itself as a mask. Okay, so now that I have my ink down there, you can't see it, but you will here in a moment. I'm taking some iridescent sparkle embossing powder. This is just some clear glitter powder. I thought the glitter would go nicely with our die cut. And I'm going to put this over the Versamark, and you can see where that ink is and how it has the open area in the center in the shape of our happy die. So I'm just going to put this all on here. Now I was careful to kind of take that sponge dauber and just start on the die and pull it away so it ends up kind of fading off on the outside edges, but you could cover that entire rectangle if you wanted to. I just wanted kind of a halo coming out from our die cut. And after this is completely heat embossed, I'm going to put my die cut in the center so you can kind of see what you get. You get like a white gap around your die cut and then the glitter around that, the halo of glitter. I wish you could see it in real life because it really is eye-catching. It's just really hard to capture in the video or in the pictures. Okay, so now let's go ahead and put the rest of this card together. I really wanted that die cut to pop off our card, the happy word. So I have some white craft fun foam here. This has a little bit of dimension to it. When I run it through my die cut machine, it'll get squished down, but over time it'll pop back up. I'm going to put some adhesive on the back of my happy glitter die cut and glue that on top of that white foam happy die cut so that we have some dimension to it. It would have been really a big pain to try to cut little pieces of foam tape behind this die cut. This is a great trick and a great way to give some fun pop to your die cuts. I've found that this white fun foam cuts beautifully. Some people have asked why I don't use the fun foam with adhesive back. I found that that doesn't die cut as well. Some brands may, but I found that it didn't die cut as well for me. So that's why I just use the plain fun foam. It's also less expensive too. So now I'm putting a little bit of adhesive on the back of our foam and then adding that to the center, right in the center of the little halo of glitter that we created. Now, I will admit, at this point, my daughter was about to wake up from her nap, so I didn't have time to do what I wanted to do here. I really wanted to create a glitter cardstock piece here that matched our die cut perfectly. But I was out of time, so what I did is I took some silver glitter paper from Die Cuts with a View, and I was really impressed that the glitter paper from their paper pads, this glitter paper, really looks great with the glitter die cut I just created. And it doesn't rub off. It's a very soft, kind of velvety feel, just like the glitter that I used on my die cut. So I was really happy about that. But if you don't have glitter paper, you could create your own just by covering cardstock with double-sided tape and then adding the glitter and burnishing it on really well. So I'm just putting some double-sided tape on the back of this since I have that tape out, and I'm just going to put it on the card. Now you'll notice I cut my card a little bit shorter just to kind of fit the proportions of that rectangle die that we created in the center. Now, I can't create a card without doing some sort of stamping, so I decided to add a little stamp sentiment on top of our die cut. This is a new stamp set from Winnie and Walter. I just think it's so much fun with lots of great party images. I decided from the sentiment, "Hooray, it's your day," that I just wanted the "it's your day." So I'm taking my scissors and carefully cutting between all the words so that I can separate them. It's okay to do this with your clear stamps. You can always mount them how they were originally intended, and this really gives a lot of versatility to your stamps. Now, I'll be honest, at this point, I wasn't sure if I wanted my sentiment in black ink or in gray ink. So I actually stamped it in both. So after I've stamped it in both along the edge of some white cardstock, I cut along the other side, so I ended up with a strip. I'm going to take this to my card and look and decide which I like, the black or the gray. I do this a lot with sentiments so that I can really put it on my card and decide instead of taking a guess. And I ended up deciding to go with the gray. I just thought that looked better with that silver glitter paper in the background. After trimming the strip down, I just used some regular tape runner to add some adhesive to the back, and I added that onto the die cut. I'll later go back and squirt some strong liquid adhesive behind that just to make sure that it doesn't come off. I also decided to use some Hero Arts gemstones and kind of scatter this on the card. Now, I'll be honest, I was afraid these little gems wouldn't stick to that glitter embossing powder in the background. So I placed all my gems, and then I decided to take them off and put some strong Ranger multi-medium adhesive behind them and let that dry. That way I can be sure those gems won't come off when I put this in the mail. This is a little nozzle that I put on top of my multi-medium, and it allows for really precise placement of my adhesive, and it's really helpful in cases like this where you only need a tiny little dot behind those gems. You can see the tweezers are also very helpful in picking up those gems and putting them right back where you need them to be. So there we have a final card, lots of glitter, but I think it's really fun for a happy birthday or celebration theme. Now, if you are interested in any of the products that I talk about in this video, I link below my YouTube description to many different sources, or you can go over to my blog at jennifermcguireinc.com where I'll have much more information. Oh, and I'll also have a giveaway of 3 of these happy dies over on my blog. Thanks for stopping by, and I'll see you again soon.